Hey guys, what's up? I just bought a new camera and I thought I'd go show it off. It's a bit of an older model, it's not that new, but I think it's pretty great. And I'll just want to show off how this is. Oh fuck! Where the hell am? Oh, fuck. In the past 2 to 3 years, we've seen a rise in popularity for a neat little horror concept called the Backrooms. A space between spaces filled with seemingly endless hallways and liminal rooms. Or at least that's what it was originally. As the concept grew in popularity, it began to expand into more and more bullshit. Hostile entities like Walking Foreskin, Deadly Gay Rays, and Ghosts of My Cable Management, political groups, federation, tourist companies, delivery services, SCP Nine-Tailed Fox wannabes who took out the entities, and an endless amount of canons, theories, lore, and everything that made it less and less creepy. The crap then started to seep into fan games, videos, and other forms of medium regarding this concept, which I find kind of sad. The eerie silence, the uncanny familiar feeling, and the fear of what you didn't know and didn't see was what made the original concept so scary and so popular to begin with. And that's why I think Iron Lung succeeded into being such a beloved and scary video game. Ah, this is it's nice. The idea behind Iron Lung is very simple. You are put in a submarine and are sent out to explore and document a blood ocean located inside of a moon. The problem is that the submarine is sealed completely, so the only way you can see what's on the outside is through grainy photos you can take with the camera mounted in front of your submarine. So if you see or hear something, you have to first rush to the camera, wait for the picture to be taken, developed, and maybe you'll catch something. This is great at building tension and makes you constantly ask yourself what's out there swimming around you. Unfortunately, Iron Lung is very scripted, So once you play through it once, there's nothing really catching you off guard anymore, and the only horror element still remaining would be the atmosphere. Thankfully, Darkwood doesn't suffer from such a problem. Oh my god. Outside! Finally! Oh. No, I'm good. A lot of the horror elements from Iron Lung can be found within Darkwood as well, which is surprising considering the game is played from a top-down perspective and you can walk around a forest and not trapped in a UK apartment-sized submarine. The way Darkwood builds tension is by limiting your field of view to a cone in front of you. You can still see the environment behind and around you and hear enemies interacting with it, be it by smashing walls or simply getting near. However, you can never know what's behind you and how close it is until you turn around. This is further emphasized by the RNG and the game's grotesque, morbid nature and art design. There is a story you need to follow, however, the important story events and or characters are always random. So while the story events might not be as impactful on multiple playthroughs, the game will still remain scary and catch you off guard. Both of these examples still have hostiles, however. You can see them, you can predict them, but there is a clear threat. They're also missing that uncanny familiar feeling of something being off. However, you don't need a horror game to achieve that said feeling. You can easily recreate it in an action-packed first-person shooter such as Duke Nukem 3D. Doom. Half-Life 2. When you remove the music and kill all the enemies, something just feels off. It's empty. The environment looks familiar, yet strange. More so in Source games. And there is a game out there, a Backrooms inspired game, which manages to incorporate all of these elements into one. This doesn't really make sense. Someone lives here. I think this is the best Backrooms inspired game out there. There's no entities, there are no organizations trying to capitalize on it. There's just silence, confusion, and a constant feeling of something being behind your back. The visual aesthetics are filtered to a 90s VHS camera, which give it this oddly realistic look to it and perfectly recreate that uncanny familiar feeling. The problem is the same as Anodyne. Once you play through it and realize there's no real threat, a lot of the tension is lost. However, the liminal aesthetics and fitting I just described before is still present. So, is this the greatest horror game of all time? Um, no. However, I didn't just use that title to clickbait you. I think that a game with the paranoia of Arnold, the repulsive and unpredictable nature of Darkwood, and the visual aesthetics of the Backrooms found footage could make for one of the greatest horror games ever made. Unfortunately, that's really hard to do, so most people just tend to stick to jump scares as the main factor of horror in their games, and it's somewhat understandable. They're cheap but very effective. I mean, I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight for the fifth time, and I still get jump scared by that. See? Oh shit.